Just like the Trinity, Christianity spreads into three big groups, right? I'm going to say northern, like Protestant heritage, heritage, right? The southern, can you all see that shit? Southern Cath heritage. The eastern orthodontist. Stupid. Orthodox heritage. We've got northern, right? Individual. I mean, think about it, guys. Anglo-Saxons, right? They become Protestant. And then Anglican. Then they go to America. They're the Quakers. They're the Shakers. They're the biggers. Biggers. And then the Anglicans come in, right? King says, I want more wives. Anglican. I know it's from Protestantism, but still, Anglo-Saxon culture, heavily northern, right? Individualistic, right? Free market. That's why Americans, like even within the Quakers, they divided within themselves. Like the divisions don't end in Reformance Protestant Christianity. Y'all see that? Anywhere it goes, America, right? The Quakers, Mormons, Presbyterians. I know it's Scottish, but doesn't change. It's more common in America. In America, you're a Christian. Are you a Presbyterian? Are you a Methodist? Are you a Unitarian? Are you a left nut Adventist? Whatever. Like, they just make different Christianities up. That's why I said there's no Christianity. There's Christianities. And it's originally called the Way. There is no unified belief in anything. Right? Even if you agree on the concept of God in the triangle. I mean, I don't even know where did Jesus talk about a triangle in the Bible. I didn't see one. Right? I see Jesus praying to a God, so I can't understand how he is God. But my beliefs put to aside, how is this Protestantism? It just grows. You know, it's like how microbes kind of populate. So it's because it's individualistic, right? And I like to make the claim that northern Protestant countries lead to ideologies like leftist socialism, the League of Liberty, I believe it's called, was the first open socialist movement in the world, was very much Protestant. It's hardcore Calvinists and evangelical German Christians who create a league based on Karl Marx's belief. Besides Karl Marx, they're all incredibly Protestant, okay? Socialism, and I'm going to say, I think we can formally call it wokeism. Is this something we can say now? Which leads to, wokeism. Anglo-Saxon things, because they're northern, right? And I think it leads to atheism. If you look at the northern European countries, they're all atheists. I don't see any belief in them, do you? Scandinavian countries, I mean, they might check Protestant or Christian in their list, but no one is practicing, let's be honest. Same with England. Besides Catholics in England, I don't know if Protestantism has any fervor left. So, it's really important to understand this. I will expand more on this, but northern Protestant heritage, really individualistic. Very secular, right? There is no authority but yourself. It's individualistic. So, this is what it leads also institutional trust. This institutional trust is interesting because it's based more on factual. Institutions, political and economic institutions, are better off in Protestant and Northern heritage places, thus creating the economic freedom formula for prosperity, which is why Northern European countries and Northern European cultures tend to be more economically better off than their counterparts because of institutional trust, because authority is fairly atheistic and individualistic. So authority gets spread. Whereas in the Christian and Southern Christian and Eastern Orthodox world, you have to subscribe to things like usury, right? To things like that would be banned in Christianity. Christian groups get in the way of commerce sometimes. You got to pay a tithe. It gets in the way of free economics. So institutions are very much religion-based, so they don't give incentive to people to contribute to the economy, whereas the Northerners really have all the incentive, plus their lands suck. It's cold, right? I think it's a combination of all factors. A lot of people dismiss environmental. I think there's a lot to do with environmental. Anyways, this is the situation, okay? So when you're a Protestant these days, I really want to know more about you and your belief system, because most of you are not religious, okay? Let's be honest. Most Protestants aren't religious, and they contribute to individualistic societies. But that's why if you're Northern, you're probably, if you come from this heritage, you're probably Protestant. You might not be. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is the larger culture that you stem from. Protestant Christianity, Martin Luther, Calvin. It's an interesting thing, this. Protestantism. Because it's not called Protestantism. It's called Reformism. Like, Protestants aren't supposed to call themselves Protestants, but this branch is watered down so much that's why pastors look the way they do. That's why religion isn't too harsh on you. Oh, Baptists also, right? Baptists are Protestant. So Southern Cath, what we got going on? It's communal. More than communal, it's universal. Communal, universal. So, Latin, right? You need a common language if you're an international institution. They pick Latin because it's Roman. That's it. Finito, right? Emperor Constantine declares it that way, it's done. Did Jesus spoke Latin? No, right? What language was the Bible written in? Do you know? You don't. Thought so. Translated to Greek. Supposedly 300 later, it's Latin. So, yes. Who wrote the Bible, by the way? No one knows. So, this is based in communal universal worship, in ritual, and Roman tradition, right? This is really difficult to write. Roman tradition. And it's very cultural, like Catholicism, honestly. Like, it's just, like, this is the civilization, okay? We are the universal civilization where we have to spread universalism everywhere. That's the idea of kind of conquistatory, kind of predatory, to be honest. That's hence the Crusades, right? It's predatory. It's not. I'm not saying this I'm saying like a war, like lions are predators, right? Takes over others. Catholicism is predatory in that sense. I'm not saying it's child predators or anything like that. I'm not saying that the Catholic Church really needs to be investigated for, child predation, but something to be, I don't know. I'm an actor, but the Catholic Church picks up the mantle left by the Roman Empire in representing civilization in their own eyes, okay? So, the Holy Roman Empire and the Catholic attempts at creating a Catholic world, plus Europe, to keep peace and order under the universal Dome of the Rock, Jesus' successor, the Pope. This is the religion summarized, with the Nicene Creed taking its traditional form and declaring Jesus as God. Jesus is God, looking like Cesare Borgia, by the way, which is who Jesus was modeled after, okay? An Italian guy. So, Jesus was a Italian guy, apparently, according to the Catholic Church. So let's take a bit of an understanding of the Orthodox world. So the other schism, the third important one, happens in 1054, right? 1054. So we've got Eastern Orthodox heritage, right? Where does it come from? It comes from ortho and olosia. What is that? Okay, it means correct or like straight belief or worship. Okay, so orthodoxia is called the correct belief. So this is identity based, right? As I said, ethnic. It's ethnic. History of survival, it's survival. So it's survival and suffer. Mentality, hence the dark aesthetics, mysterious aesthetics. Church is tied to a nation again, national, nativist and national, universal concepts. That's why Orthodox Christianity is so nation-based, right? Serbian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, Armenian Orthodox, Moldovan Orthodox, Ukrainian Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, all different types of orthodoxies come about due to this influence. With the Greek influence as well, it's very much philosophical. Hence a lot of the Greek terms, autokratos, etc. These are the three natures of European Christianity. I know there's Ethiopian Christianity. I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk about it. But here's the idea, and it is interesting because you see not a resurgence of Christianity, which I like. This is something I like to talk about as well. I don't know if there is a resurgence in Christianity, as it's put on the screens for you. But there's interesting things to talk about when it comes to understanding Christianities. But long story short, since it's trendy to know about Christianity, I just want to give my 2 piece on the current division of Christianity, the aesthetics behind these religious beliefs, and what led to their creations, be it politically and culturally. If you disagree, feel free to write in the comments. Give me some knowledge that I might be lacking. I'm fairly confident in my study here, but in understanding the way evolving into Eastern Catholic and Protestant Christianity, I was really curious about the topic, and I did my own research. So hopefully you can understand a thing or two. I found Christianity to be very interesting, very much valuable, and very much tied to European culture because of this, okay? Christianity is not European, but Europe is Christian. Understand that, you'll understand the world. Christianity is Middle Eastern, okay? So, how did that Middle Eastern hippie belief, and yes, it was very much hippie-like, become this suit and tie evangelical thing? This is how it did, right? The Anglo-Saxon, evangelical, by the way, Protestants either should call themselves evangelicals and understand the gospel, or reformist. So that's how Donald Trump can claim that he is a Christian, even though he's not part of the other important churches. Comes from the Northern European tradition, right? So I think this is a good way